All right, November 3rd, 2025, 8:53 a.m. in the morning. And this is a documentary, life path, whatever you want to call it. Three things about Jesus. Number one, his name is of Latin descent. So it could be from South America. It could be from Mexico. It could be a Mexican name, right? Jesus. That's where Jesus comes from. But the fact that it comes from the Middle East, right, where there is, I don't think there's any Jesus names over there. So I don't know. I don't live over there, so I'm not 100% sure. But I do know Jesus is a Latin name. With that being said, he is also known as Jeshua, Jeshua, Jeshua. Jesus is Jeshua. Right? So let's talk about him for a minute. Two more things. That was number one. We've got two more to go. Before we move to that, it causes confusion, right? So we know languages, we're all mixed up. So if you go Google all the languages of all the countries over in the European, Asian areas, you'll see that China has the most languages. But you see hundreds, 200, 300 languages in all the countries on that side of the world. And on that side of the world. I didn't check over here. So with that being said, that was, as we know, created because of the Tower of Babel. So people could not communicate in such a way to build that building, right? So God wanted them to stop building that building. The Tower of Babel is the allegoric story of our consciousness. They were building our consciousness to a high level. So that was the confusion to prevent that from happening. Now we got Jesus, we got Jesus, we got Jeshua, which is from South America, predominantly, in my opinion, based on my research and theoretically speaking. All for show. So check this out. Two more things. Number one, Jesus as a scapegoat. Jesus as a scapegoat is just this. Everybody transferred their energy, which is sin. Sin is energy, vibrations, and frequencies. Sin is energy, vibrations, and frequencies. So they took that sin, all the negative stuff, and transferred that into Jesus, right? So Jesus took all of their nasty energies upon himself to overcome himself, right? Those people were all sinners, allegedly. Sin is a cage. It keeps you from doing things that God doesn't want you to do, good or bad. So that is sin. It's a cage, and it keeps you in a box. So that is sin. With that being said, Jesus as a scapegoat was getting all the people's negative energies, right? So before that happened, he was healing people with his frequency, right? He was healing people with his frequency because it was so high such that it killed diseases inside of people. So if you had a disease, you just get in Jesus's aura and he would heal you. He would touch you, he would be in your aura, and he would heal you. Why? Because we know that diseases are what? Energy, frequencies, and vibrations. And if that's the case, then that means the disease could not handle Jesus's high vibrations. So therefore, it killed the diseases inside of people, curing them of that disease. So that was Jeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, the Savior. So there is that. Now, that was the third. Back to the scapegoat. So at the end, the story, the alleged story, at the end of Jesus's life, he had all these negative energies inside of him because everybody transferred their energies inside of Jesus, Jeshua, right? Here we got God could not stand or bear to look at his alleged son, Jesus, Jeshua. Why? Because he was carrying all the people's negative energy, all the people's sins. And God is a clairvoyant, speaking spiritually, because Jesus is a clairsentient. God is a clairvoyant, and then some. He is also clairsentient. We'll just stick with those two spiritual gifts. So God's clairvoyant, and he's a clairsentient. He could not bear the energies that Jesus was carrying. It was too much for God. What does that do to God? It humanizes God. It makes him a human, right? Because if he was in his spiritual body, he shouldn't be able to feel, right, Jesus's energy. So that perspectively thinking could be this, that God can transmute back and forth into his spirit body and his physical body, right? So that is what it's all about. So there you go. Jesus could have been carrying pedophile energy. Jesus could have been carrying killer energy. Jesus could have been carrying loving energy. Jesus could have been carrying crooked energy, meaning he robs, right? Because of all these sinners and all these negative, malevolent beings, right? And they could be benevolent as well, was transferring all of their energies into Jesus, Yeshua, right? And Jesus had to bear all of those energies. So that is my theory on Jesus, Yeshua, and his life until 33 years old, allegedly. I got to go. Peace, love, and happiness, and cash flow. Comment below. Tell me what your thoughts are.